Plenty of Democrats are talking about court packing, just not vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris, at least not to the questions directly from our own Peter Doocy today, as you saw on Jackie Heinrich's report. So let's pick it up right there with a Republican member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, John Kennedy of Louisiana. Senator, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to read something from the Washington Post. They're talking about the strategy that the vice president has for previously during the primaries. We heard him talk about the fact that court packing would not be a great idea. Now he's sort of demurring, saying, I don't want to answer the question because it changes the subject, and that's what the president wants me to do. It says some on Biden's team have been aggravated by calls on the left to expand the court. Biden advisors are reluctant to get enmeshed in a fight that could alienate centrist voters. Rather than weighing in on such ideas, Biden stressed less polarizing issues. I mean, this is a tough question. Senator, do you think the potential voters out there deserve to know whether this vice president and the man who wants to be president supports court packing?
Yes. And let me make 2 points here. Number one, Senator Schumer, who has also talked about court packing, has been telling anyone who will listen that we should not fill this vacancy because it's an election year. The constitutional provisions on filling a Supreme Court vacancy are unaffected by the electoral calendar. And I want to make it clear, we're going forward. And anyone who thinks Senator Schumer would not do the same thing if the shoe were on the other foot probably also believes Jimmy Hoffa died a natural death. Number two, some, not all, but some of my Democratic colleagues have threatened America. They've threatened us. Tucker Carlson said it well last night. They're saying, if you don't do what we want, we will hurt you. If you don't do what we want, we will hurt America. We will destroy the United States Supreme Court as an institution by packing the court. Shame on them. They ought to hide their head in a bag. And that's just further demonstration of the fact that they don't understand the role of the United States Supreme Court. They think justices are just politicians in robes. They think justices have the right to rewrite the Constitution every other Thursday to advance a political or a social agenda that they can't get by the voters. And that's not why our founders set up the United States Supreme Court or any of our federal courts.
But doesn't the former vice president have an opportunity to clearly state that he's not with that section of his party? I mean, our Chris Wallace is going to ask tough questions next week, and I would expect he's going to be pushed on whether he thinks you should get rid of the filibuster or pack the court or any of the other things that are being proposed at this point, because a lot of folks on the left are saying, listen, this is fair. You mentioned potentially destroying the Supreme Court as an American institution. They say that's what you guys are doing right now.
Well, to answer your question, Shannon, yes, Vice President Biden needs to answer that question. If he criticizes President Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, as I suspect he will, he needs to tell the American people who he will appoint. Now, like it or not, the Supreme Court vacancy has become maybe the most important issue in this presidential race. And President Trump is shortly, I'm told, going to tell us where he stands. I think Vice President Biden needs to do the same thing. And he needs to either support or condemn his colleagues who have threatened to destroy the U.S. Supreme Court by packing it, by turning it into a bunch of politicians in robes, sort of a mini Congress, if we don't do what they want. And he needs to hit that one head on.
All right, I would like you to respond to a tweet from Cher, the entertainer for decades, well-loved and known, saying this: our hope for new vet for care, gone. Decency, truth, equality, our hope for a new prosperity for all, gone. What's left? Lies, deceit, laws, gone, that displease the tyrant. Too many American, I think she means 200, too many American values gone to enumerate, maybe. President Kushner, Ivanka, Jr., Mitt, hell awaits men who sell their souls. Sounds like a reference there to your colleague Mitt Romney, the senator from Utah's decision to go ahead with this vote. How do you respond to people who that's the extreme version they see of what you're doing? I mean, there is a section of this country who views your actions that way.
I would respond by saying, first, I love Cher's music. Number two, I suspect many of the beautiful people in Hollywood agree with her, how brave they are. They're not exactly a cross-section of the American people. And I don't think many Americans pay much attention to what they say.
Well, I'm going to put you and Cher down for not singing from the same hymnal for now. Senator Kennedy, we will watch as these hearings and that committee that you are on. It's going to be a very important spotlight in the coming weeks. We'll watch your schedule as that comes together. Senator Kennedy, thank you always for your time.
Thank you.